Guys, what's up? So today I'm going to be filming my 6-month postpartum update. This is definitely for educational purposes for any mom who is a first-time mom going through this. I was a first-time mom. I was also 17 years old. I was terrified of postpartum. Sorry, I keep messing with my hair. I just pulled it down out of a ponytail. It looks kind of weird. This is just how postpartum was for me, and it's not like this for everybody. Sometimes postpartum is way worse, and sometimes it's way better. So, yeah, let's just get into it. I'm going to start with in the hospital and how that was. In the hospital, I was kind of bloated. Of course, I had just had a baby. I'm sorry, I'm sort of sick. But, I had just had a baby. My face was swollen. My tummy looked about how it did when I was about 20 weeks pregnant. Like side by side, I'll put pictures in, like right here. It took about, I'm going to say, a good few months to actually go down. And that was without exercising, without like watching what I was eating, to be honest, because I was pretty much living off of frozen food for the first, I'm still living off of frozen food. But yeah, I just started exercising like this month, like within this past week. And I tried it when I was 6 weeks postpartum, and it didn't really work out. It just felt really weird and it hurt a lot. So I just waited. To more of the gross side of postpartum, I bled for about, I'm going to say a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. I bled and then it stopped, whenever I was able to. I think it was 6 weeks postpartum. I might have been a little bit over because I had to switch my appointment. So I was probably about 2 months postpartum, and I got an Nexplanon put in my arm right here. And so I don't have, and plus I'm breastfeeding, so I don't have a period anymore, but I did stop bleeding after like 3 weeks or so. It could have been like sooner than that, actually. Postpartum really wasn't that bad for me. It was nothing compared to what my periods were before I gave birth. So yeah, like the day after I got out of the hospital, I was wearing jeans and I was in heels. So, yeah, I really wasn't feeling that bad. I had an episiotomy, and so I don't know if that made it better or if it made it worse than what it would have been, but I really couldn't see it being any better because, I mean, for me to just have a baby, I was doing pretty good. So about like 3 months postpartum, I had a vlog about it. I started losing hair. I'm still losing hair. It's starting to grow back in certain spots. Like I have like tiny baby hairs, I've noticed, like up here. But then also I, pull back my hair and I go to curl it and I find strands that are about this long. Which is breakage, and I don't know why that happened. I did dye my hair after I was pregnant, but it was like months after that I was finding these breakage spots that weren't there before, you know what I mean? So it wasn't because I dyed it. I honestly think it might have been postpartum. I'm not sure. I also find bald spots everywhere in my hair. So I'm still losing hair. That's great. It's just great for me. As for postpartum depression, I never got postpartum depression. I did go through a phase about a month after having him where I was really missing being pregnant, but I think every woman goes through that. But I never got depressed from it, you know what I mean? And I forgot to mention after I had him, like my weight wise, I gained 27 pounds while pregnant, and I lost it all immediately, pretty much. I mean, I went in to weigh myself. I think the first time I weighed myself after being pregnant was like 2 weeks after. They didn't even weigh me after I had him. So like 2 weeks after I had him, I was back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. I did have like flubber, I guess. That's what I got. I did have like mush from my belly, and I have extra skin, and it definitely doesn't look the same. But I did lose all the weight. As for stitches, they stopped bothering me about 2 weeks after I had I had my son. It wasn't like, nothing was really too bad. Like, I didn't have really bad pains. What was really bad was the cramping when nursing, but that only happened in the hospital. I had really bad pains, like contraction pains, after I had him. If you don't know that, you do have contractions after you have your baby and after you deliver the placenta, and it's shrinking the uterus. Yeah, it's not fun. Mine weren't, at least. Some people, they don't feel them. I felt them. It was awful. That was the only bad part of postpartum, though, and it was only in the hospital when it happened, and it was so bad that, like, I was begging. I did not take any of the heavy medicine that they give you after you have a baby. I didn't take any of it. I was pretty much just on ibuprofen. I was begging for my ibuprofen, though. But yeah, they kept telling me, they were like, you're the only one on the entire hall that hasn't taken the heavy medicine for pain. And I'm like, yeah, it really wasn't even that bad for me to take the medicine, but I was afraid. They told me that it would make me tired, and I was afraid that if I got tired, I would not wake up to feed him or anything, because I was up from 6 in the morning on Sunday morning until 10 o'clock Monday night. So I was up for over 24 hours. And I was up for over 24 hours, and honestly, I wasn't even that tired. And then I was only sleeping from like 10 to about 1. And then Hayes would wake up, and they would take him for his bath and stuff. And so he would get really awake and stuff. And I would be up all day until about 10 o'clock at night again. And then the same thing would happen until I got out of the hospital. So I wasn't really tired. I was just, I just knew that if I did go to sleep because of medicine, I would not wake up. So I didn't take any of the heavy stuff, but those cramping, they would probably go away if I would have taken the heavy stuff. Breastfeeding Hayes, I didn't have any issues with it. I never got engorged. My milk never went down or anything. Like, it stayed pretty much the same. He latched perfectly. Like, I mean, honestly, like, we never had issues. The only issue I had was, in the hospital, he latched on wrong, and it was only for, like, 5 minutes until I realized that he was latched on wrong, and he caused I don't even know what to call it, a blister, I guess, on my nipple, and it was right at the end, and it was pretty decent size. I don't know what to call it. It was like, it was bleeding. It had a scab on it. I don't know if it was like a blister or what, but that was painful. And then it happened to my other breast. Sorry, my sister-in-law just texted me. But yeah, on both sides I had those, but they only lasted for like 2 days, and I was good again. Since then, I've never had an issue with it. I mean, honestly, breastfeeding him has been the easiest thing. And a lot of women don't say that, but it has for me. It's been so easy. But I also did a lot of research. I watched a lot of videos. I did my homework. I'm not saying that anybody hasn't, but I did online school before I had him, and I took a child development class which talked about nursing, and then I also, like, on top of that, did research hours a day, like every single day. I did hours of research on breastfeeding. So I had a really easy time. Like, as soon as they gave them to me, I knew what to do. I knew how to get them latched on. I knew, and even the doctor or the nurse was like, oh, wow, you know what to do. I can do a whole video on breastfeeding if you would like. Comment down below, but I'm not a professional or anything, but I can give you my tips that I learned with a lot of research, a lot of videos made by lactation consultants. I never went to a lactation consultant because I never had issues to go to a lactation consultant. So yeah. So postpartum was pretty easy for me. I don't know. I really didn't even use any tricks or anything to get through it. I literally used what the hospital gave me. I never took the heavy, like, medication, pain medicine. Like I said, I just took ibuprofen. I used the little spray bottle thing that they give you to squirt. Can't remember what it's called. I used to know what it was called. And then I also used the can of numbing stuff. Man, I can't, something blast. I can't remember. I'll put a picture of it right here. But I used that stuff, and that's pretty much all I used. There's not much more to say about postpartum with my experience. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe down below. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'm doing Vlogmas. I'm doing Vlogmas, so I'm posting every day for the month of December, up until Christmas, I think. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Bye.